Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Cancer, here we are in my new space. I got the new table set out. Things will change, of course. I'm in a smaller space now. I'm in the closet. I know, but it's better acoustically. And we're building out a new studio for, I don't know what, one of our new channels. And I say us, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. Go check him out if you haven't seen him before. I want to say welcome. If you want to support this channel, Ula Tea Leaf Readings, or any of our channels, Ula does Subliminals, or Dove and Serpent Daily, or Tarot Logic, whatever. We have a lot of channels here. If you want to like, maybe subscribe so you don't miss your readings. And what's the other one? Leave a comment. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you have anything that you would like prayed over, energies sent your way, I would be most honored to do so. Also, I don't usually mention it. I do personal readings. I don't push them a lot because I already have quite a few clients. As you can tell, I'm a busy lady. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm mentioning it because I have received a few emails and comments the last, month or so. So anyways, all of the info for that stuff in the description. Now, let's get into this thing. We have the Empress, right? I actually started this reading. I had to restart. I was only in like a minute, but I was calling it the High Priestess, and I was like, you know what? That is not the right person. Similar energies. But we have the Empress, which is very synonymous with like Persephone, right? Maybe even the conjunction of Inanna and Ereshkigal. We have this like duality in this archetype. We have the dayside mother of plants and animals and, little babies and rainbows and spring and walking across the meadow and flowers popping up under her feet, this kind of energy. Now, at the same time, if you remember the story of Persephone, she is abducted, right? Abducted and taken to the underworld or the subterranean, right? To Hades to be with her husband, who decided, hey, man, I like that lady, I'm taking her. So we'll not get into... We're not going to get into, some of the stuff about these old myths that are like, all right, okay. But yeah, she goes down there. She doesn't like it at first, but then at some point she really is like, you know what, dude? I'm either going to let this thing beat me. I'm going to let this, the situation I'm in, ruin my life. Or I'm going to look around, see what I can work with, and I'm going to make this, my thing. I'm not going to sit around and be a victim here. I'm going to make the best of this. I'm going to turn this thing right on out, right? And so... she does. She becomes this beautiful, powerful queen of the underworld. And she spends half her year down there and half her year on the day side. And so this card to me, even though it is like the dayside version, to me, it really speaks to the duality, the cognitive dissonance, the ability to exist in different ways, in different places in our life, flexibility, that mercurial fluidness, right? The liquid silver. And I'm just going to tap it. Let's get these things up. It's like 5 minutes in. Sorry about the story of... Let's go through the mythologies, right? So anyways, that looks like Mickey Mouse. immediately. Before we get into that, I just want to say thank you again for being here. We have just I feel like we have a sense of you being in a place where you have spent so much time building your own life raft. Okay, so we'll start. Let's start here, because that's where the boat is at. We have the boat here, and it is a beautiful one. It reminds me of like one of those Viking longboats, and we can kind of just pull it up here a little more. You can see right here, and it has a person on the boat, and it looks like they're steering the dang thing. That wouldn't be a longboat, but come with me, right? Let's we'll imagine. We also have a campfire down here, so we have this idea of illumination. Now over here we have what looks like the Emperor, but also maybe the Hierophant, because it does look like they're using magical implements. We also have the head here and a smiley face. We have two people right here hand in hand. We have that union, that lover's energy. And so for me, I feel like for you, there is this real sense of cultivating the life that you have wanted. Now, I know that sounds like, oh yeah, duh, isn't that what we're all doing? No, absolutely not. That's not what we're all doing. A lot of us are just surviving, right? Or on autopilot, or numbed out, or raged out, or vacillating between, right? And I feel like for you, it's like you had been in the rat race, right? Playing the game. And I just feel like there was a moment here. And I do feel that this is related to you returning to the outdoors. Now, I won't say nature, because everything is nature. We're nature. Outside is nature. Our house is full of, natural. It's all, right? So I feel like you've been outdoors more often, okay? And that's really affected you profoundly. I don't know that you relate these things, but if you think back to when you were becoming more intentionally outside, right? You're finding reasons to get out there more and more. You've maybe established like a routine. You go out, you have your tea in the morning, you watch the sun come up, you listen to the trees fight with the birds fight with each other in the trees, But it's almost kind of like, and I'm imagining like an undoing of a lace, like on the shoe or a corset or something. It is this feeling of pulling away this tightly controlled thing and just being able to breathe, right? Now, if you're somebody that wears a brassiere, right, you know the feeling. After a long day, you get home, you pull that thing off, and you just exhale, right? And so I feel like there's this, I would say even people in your life have told you you've been selfish. Because I feel like you have put yourself first for the first time in so long. Like you're really good at being part of small groups of people, or solitary, or working with like one other person. I don't think you like huge groups of people or working in companies or on teams that are just, huge, the whole departments and stuff. I feel that you excel in these places. You're usually really good at doing some of the background work. You don't necessarily want to be in a leadership role, but you also don't want to be, like the gopher, right? I feel like for the first time in maybe your adult life, you have stopped and really looked at how things are put together, how you've decided to kind of arrange the way that your days go, the places that you spend your time, who you're with. And I think that there's been a need for some serious reevaluation, right? I think that your eyes are wide open. And it's kind of like I'm realizing somehow I ended up in a place that maybe is the result of choosing against yourself over and over and just kind of trying to go with the flow. Maybe you've been in that intense, like, younger child era of raising a family. And you know, when you have younger kids, you kind of just do what you got to do. You try to get through the dang thing. You don't have a lot of time to be considering, like, you know, these big existential questions and, like, what are you going to do with it all? So I do feel like there's maybe a little more room in your life for one reason or another. There may have been a tower moment previously. Now, not anytime soon, or not anytime soon in the past, right? Or recently. That's the word. That is the word I'm looking for. But I feel like it must have been like maybe like a year, 6 months, a year. It still feels fresh enough. You know, something changed drastically, even if it was like a good thing. Maybe it wasn't a bad, like a bad tower moment. It could have been that, you know, something happened in your life. Your kid went off to college or whatever. It's a happy thing. But yeah, it can be devastating to the way you're living, right? You have to reevaluate. What am I doing? I've lived in service of somebody else for all this time, and now they're, you know, gone. What am I going to do with my time? And so I do feel like you are building your own life raft. Now, I don't know that you are actually, like, changing the whole situation. Like, I'm going to downsize the house. I'm moving back to where I grew up. I'm, you know, leaving my relationship and going to be single forever, or, you know, whatever it is. I feel like right now you're more in those getting prepared stages, right? Gathering your resources, making the financial plans, saving the money, right? Getting things in order. Because listen, you're a Cancer. You're not I mean, it depends on your other placements, of course, but I don't think you're super impulsive, right? You have moments where you want to be, and maybe you even indulge that once in a while, but I don't think in this situation. I think you are slow and steady building up a good transition, right, in the future. And so I think that's where we're at. And I do think that because we have that masculine, either Emperor or Hierophant energy, these are very systematic, very mind-oriented archetypes, right? So I do see that you are in a place where you are being very logical about things, okay? You're not operating off of your emotions, but you are definitely, I think, letting yourself listen to your intuition more than maybe you usually do. Okay, so we had that creepy Mickey Mouse right here. It looks like the old one, like from the 40s or whatever. Here are the ears up here. Okay. Now we have, it looks like, they look like witches, 2 of them, holding, it looks like, it could be a name. Right up here. It looks like Jim, maybe. The name Jim or Lynn. See, it looks like an M from this side, but N from this side. So it's hard to tell. But I do feel I feel like you're maybe like it feels so much like you are a Halloween person. Like you're a person that, I mean, listen, I just saw that the Spirit Halloween thing, the store was open like the other day. I cannot believe that we have 6 months of Halloween now. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it really blows my mind. So I wonder if you are a person that's like super, super into Halloween. You know, we also have what looks like a tick right here. You can see the little legs and the big fat, engorged, I should say, body full of a blood meal, right? And so oh my gosh. So to me, it really feels like I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like you have somebody in your life who maybe you grew up with them. I feel like this is a person that I don't know if you like pity them or like you have kept them in your life just like out of like you know their story, right? And like I feel like in any other situation you probably wouldn't bother with this person at all. But I do feel like there's a sense of responsibility to the friendship and to them as a person. But here, I feel like this ends up being somebody who is kind of a parasite in people's lives. I feel like this is somebody who really drains people. Maybe like an energy vampire, maybe something like that. But I do feel almost like you're waking up to the fact that, you know, this person is draining you. Like anytime you're around them, you want to like get away. Like you don't necessarily know why. Like they seem well enough, right? And you've known them forever and you have shared history and, you know, you don't really have to explain yourself to them and all those things are nice. But I feel like, you know, there's just a sense of really coming around to the understanding that this person really has taken a lot from you. And I don't know if it's like they've tarnished your reputation in some way. They've been talking about you, maybe even more directly. Maybe they have been, you know, stealing from you or something like this. I don't think it's to that level, but I do feel there's a sense of being let down. And also the impulse to want to close yourself off to caring for other people. And maybe just like shortly lived, hopefully. But it does feel like that, you know, when somebody burns you and, you know, it's like breaking up with somebody. You know, you think, I'm never, ever, 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 hear me, never, ever going to date again. I'm never going to be romantic with anybody again. You know, we all feel that way when stuff goes south. Same with friendships. I'm done with people. I don't want to know anybody anymore, you know? So I do feel like, you know, there is magical intervention. We have those witches. That's the other thing. I feel like the divine is really looking out for you. But also, I feel that you are implementing magic here. To some level, right? And I think that a lot of that has to do with maybe closing this person off, right? Separating yourself slowly because this is maybe a volatile person and, you know, slowly like detaching and then finally getting to that point where you can make the leap of no contact with this person, hopefully, right? And so, I feel like this is something where it ends up being easier than you expect, but it will feel glorious once you rip that tick right off of you, you know? So I do feel that you're in your power. This person's not going to get over on you. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, again with the boats. This one has a 6 on it, though. Look at that. Right here, you can see 6, number 6. And we have YB. Or maybe it says CBT, like the therapy. I don't know. But it's right in here. Okay, we also have, it looks like mushrooms. We have the number 8, a heart, kind of a potion being created. We also have the number 3 up here. So we have the mushroom, the heart, and the infinity sign. Okay, so I feel like on some level, there is a sense of maybe even the plant world. Maybe there is a connection with plant, like a direct connection with some kind of plant. If you have a particular plant you're drawn to, like for instance, my husband is really connected in my mind to chamomile because he grows it so well, and I always have a hard time for some reason with it. And I don't know, that's just in essence that really speaks to his like gentleness and, kind of fatherly energy, a little bit of honey, a little bit of, healing and all of that. So if you have a plant that you are particular to, I feel like there's a sense of this being a time where you're very connected with it, and even communing with it. And I don't know if you believe in animism or that plants have consciousness or you can have these very deep relationships with them, but I do believe. And even if you don't, I would challenge you to kind of just explore this idea a little bit. Are you in a relationship of some kind, a friendship, a devoted loyalty with a plant or a group of plants? Or maybe you are a person that has like a jungle in your house. You're all about the house plants. But I do feel like this is a place for you to lean towards, because I think that you get so much freedom out of having these kinds of relationships or these kinds of connections, even if it is something, and this might sound so silly, but if you like work, you take your lunch and you don't like to stay at work, maybe you go out to the parking lot and sit in your car and stare at a certain tree, or maybe you like to drive over to a park and you sit there and you have your lunch on the picnic table every day or whatever. These could also be the places where you are very much connected to, a certain landscape or plants that are in that environment or whatever it is. So really, I would say activate this relationship, lean into it, explore it. Okay. Now, we also have the infinity sign and the heart. I believe that in a lot of ways, you are in a part of your life where you are loving in different styles, right? You are finding that as you clear away these kind of parasitic energies and, just the clutter of people and things in our life, we make room for all kinds of new stuff. And I think that this is one thing that's really emerging for you, okay? Now, we have the eye, heart, And it does look like a fish. So I also feel like money, resources is another great love for you. I don't even know that, like, of course you love having the money and making the money, but I think for you, it's more about the ability to create something and at the same time create resources for yourself while you are being creative, right? And so I do feel like you're probably in some line of work, or you're transitioning into some line of work where you can be more artistic, creative, just more aligned with how you want to exist in reality. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little drink here. And so I feel like this is a great freedom for you. I feel like you are in a place in your life where you are just absolutely the mother archetype, the father archetype. You are the healer. You are the high priestess, the empress, the, king, emperor, whatever. You're on all of these very strong and firm and moving energies. And I think that, with that, I feel like you're really feeling yourself, right? You have the confidence. There's a sense of rising. That's the big thing here, rising. Okay, so we also have the number 77. We have the number 17. So 7 seem really important right now. We also have what looks like a visitor to the house, an unexpected visitation. I think, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to stick my thing back on there. I think it brings blessings to the home. I don't know that it's a human. But I do. I feel like we have, it seems like a sense of, doing yard work for some reason, or bringing in a equalizing energy into the yard. But the house feels so protected. And that's the big thing. The house is protected. We also have the sailboat. So again, this repeated energy of changing, movement in life, okay? Now, we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. Oh, geez. Everything is falling in here. I have to figure out how to do some of this. 24, number 24. Some of my soundproofing a little more firmly here. Number 44. Number 45. All right. Now, where did I have this? Right there. We're going to finish with our wild offering oracle cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip through. Stop where it feels right. And it says direction. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body. And if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. Please. Absolutely. Let me know. Let me know so I can decide that I want to keep going in the wrong direction. Sometimes you find out and you say, well, I'm already here. All right. Cancer, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Please, please, please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. What else? Yeah, that's it. I love you so much. Good night.